Hello students, today we are going to continue with the same topic, Mahatma Gandhi and the national movement. And before going through the topic, we have to read our today's objective. The today's objectives are to know the basic ideologies of Mahatma Gandhi, Gandhian view on non-violence and satyagraha, and the concept of Swadeshi proposed by Mahatma Gandhi. So let's take our books first. We are going to start from the third point, an ideal state. Gandhiji was in favor of a stateless society. Basically, he did not want any sort of state because at that time Hitler and Mussolini were his contemporaries and they were leading a dictatorial state. So he did not want any type of state. He considered the state a necessary evil, but he understood that states are must to run because this is the only way that the development can be made. So he was the supporter of democracy. Now first we will go through this term, democracy. Democracy, you can write this term also. The system of government where people choose their own representatives and they are responsible to people for their duties or working is called as democracy. Now, and wanted that power should be in the hands of the people, with the government exercising normal authority. He said that the government was only to guide and not to exhibit brute force. Now the second term here is coming, brute force. So we'll go through the term, what is brute force? Brute force is to show physical strength. So till here we have done that Mahatma Gandhi was in favor of democracy, a government which is formed by people, and people have a right to choose that government and change the government if it's not working well. Then he did not want a government which uses its physical strength, rather he wanted a welfare state. This is the third term of this paragraph. So the welfare state, will go through this term. So what is welfare state? The welfare state is a state which works for the welfare or betterment of its citizens. Most of the democratic countries nowadays are welfare states. So the state that works for the development of its citizens are called as welfare states. He wanted a welfare state in India and not a police state. Already we have discussed, police state is the one which shows its brute force. Brute force means physical strength. He wanted the state to be secular. This is another term, so we'll go through what is secular. Secular means no state religion. A person is free to adopt any religion of his choice. The state will not force any person to adopt a particular religion. India is a secular state where we don't have any state religion, whereas Pakistan and most of the Muslim countries has adopted Islam as their state religion, so they can't be termed as a secular state. So here that it clarified that Mahatma Gandhi wanted to make India a secular state where all have equal right to adopt any religion and your government cannot pressurize you to adopt a particular religion. He believed in the decentralization of power. Now another term, what is decentralization? Decentralization means division of power. Students, if you observe this decentralization, you can see it in your common day life because union government, at the center we have union government. Then at the states level we have the state government. Then the state government is further divided into local self-government in form of municipal corporations and municipal committees. Then at the village level, the panchayats are working. So this was his concept of decentralization, that the power should be divided. He believed in the decentralization of power through the Panchayati Raj. Panchayati Raj, Panchayat is a unit which manages the villages, and in India, the Panchayati Raj was started in India on 2 October 1959 to commemorate the birthday of this great leader Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation. He advocated the liberty of the individual. Here liberty means freedom. The state have no right to interfere in the lives of the citizens. In short, it can be said that Gandhi believed in the establishment of Ram Rajya. Now what is his Ram Rajya? In brief, if we will discuss, all these characteristics formed his Ram Rajya. His ideal state consists of democracy, welfare state, secular and decentralization. If all these characteristics are there, then the state is termed as a Ram Rajya. Now students, we will go through The next ideology, the ideal of trusteeship. Gandhiji believed in the ideal of trusteeship. According to him, all property belonged to God. The land possessed by the landlords and the wealth possessed by the rich also belonged to God, who had appointed them as his trustee. This is the first term of this doctrine. So what is trustee? On whom you can trust. So according to Mahatma Gandhi, God has given more wealth to rich people because he trusts them that they will distribute the wealth to the poor people and the needy people. They should utilize the wealth as much as they want, and the rest should be distributed to common people. So the gap between the rich and the poor, the have and the have-not, should be fulfilled. Therefore, they use only as much as they need it for themselves, giving the remaining to the poor. Here Mahatma Gandhi is quoting donation. He is in favor of the distribution of wealth from rich to poor. He was opposed to accumulation of wealth. This is the second term of this paragraph, accumulation. So we'll go through this term, accumulation. Accumulation means gathering or increase of something over time. He did not favor that wealth should be concentrated in few hands, and he was also against economic inequality. Now, what is economic inequality? It is a situation where there is a big gap between rich and poor. So he wanted to end economic inequality. He wanted to end the gap between rich and poor. He wanted to end the gathering of wealth to a few hands. He preferred the interest of the society to those of an individual. He inspired the peasants means farmers, and the workers to fight against injustice for their interest, but he was never against strike. He wanted to say that if you want to fight, there are some other methods to fight, other methods to present your problems, rather than only to just to stick on the methods of strike. Now we'll go through the next doctrine. The next doctrine is his doctrine of Swadeshi. First we'll go through his idea of Swadeshi. His idea of Swadeshi. Swadeshi is made from two words, Swa and Deshi. Swa means your own and Deshi means country. So it means to use the things made in one's own country. One more term which we'll use in this paragraph will be boycott. Boycott means not to use foreign goods. Both the terms are simultaneously used by Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhiji devised the weapons of Swadeshi to drive the British out of India. Swadeshi was the watchword of Mahatma Gandhi. He stood for the use of Swadeshi goods. Swadeshi means use of goods made in India, and boycott of foreign goods, not to use foreign goods, to harm the English trade and bring them to their knee. And basically why he wanted to do that? Because British has come in India as traders. So he wanted to promote the Indian goods so that the British interest can be hurt. He emphasized the use of charkha and khadi. We will go through these terms. Charkha is spinning wheel and khadi is a type of cloth. In English it means the link. So here also you can see that Mahatma Gandhi, with the help of spinning wheel, is actually producing the link, the khadi, which was an Indian cloth. He emphasized the use of charkha and khadi to improve the life of poor in India. He was not in favor of industrialization. We'll go through this term. Industrialization means setting up of big industries. He was not in favor of industrialization in the lines of West, like the Western country. He did not want big industry to be set up in India. He advocated the establishment of cottage industries. We will go through this term. What is cottage industry? Small works or business where people work in their own houses, like cotton weaving, carpet making and handicrafts. So he wanted that in India, in spite of having the big industries, we should have the small scale industries so that the unemployment can be ended. So what is unemployment? We'll go through this term again. A situation where people are not having job or work to do. So Mahatma Gandhi wanted that in place of having the big industries, we should have the small scale cottage industry so that the poverty can be removed. Those people who are without job, they can be provided job, and especially the countryside. Countryside here means in the villages. He launched Swadeshi movement because he was of the view that political freedom is meaningless without economic freedom. You know that at that time the demand of the Indians was to win freedom, but Mahatma Gandhi said until and unless we will not be economically strong, we can't ask for the freedom. Now we are going to discuss the next doctrine, his doctrine of non-violence. First we will go through the term what was non-violence. Non-violence means not to use physical force against anyone. So it means handling the every matter peacefully. The whole of Gandhiji's philosophy is based on non-violence. He never believed that non-violence was a weapon of strong, powerful and mighty individuals. According to Gandhiji, true love, dauntlessness, inner purity and feeling of selflessness form the basis of non-violence. So here another term comes, dauntlessness. So we'll go through the term. What is dauntlessness? It means not easily frightened by someone. So Mahatma Gandhi believed that if you are using non-violence, then you are not easily frightened by anyone else. That means inner strength comes in you and you are able to handle the situation. You become selfless, you are working for another, and in Hindi the non-violence is known as ahimsa. So in your book you will see both the words together. Somewhere it's used in non-violence, somewhere the word will come ahimsa. It's not a negative but a positive and active force. If somebody using non-violent, that doesn't mean that the person is weak. It means rather the person is more stronger. He maintained it is the lack of power that makes a person coward as he hits others out of fear. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi believed if a person is using physical force, if he is using violence, then person is actually very frightened. From inside the person is very fearful and just to cover himself he is using physical force. But a non-violent person armed with moral strength can walk on the sword's edge. So if a person is non-violent, he or she is morally very strong and can solve any problem and can do the difficult works also. He inspired the unarmed people, here unarmed means without weapon, of India to fight against the mighty British Empire and win freedom. According to him, even without weapons we can win the freedom, and that is what he has shown during the national movement, that without weapons also we can win over the freedom. Now students will go through the next doctrine, this doctrine of Satyagraha. Now first we will go through what was Satyagraha. Satyagraha means to fight for something with the help of truth and non-violence. So Satyagraha is based on his philosophy of non-violence. Satyagraha was another great weapon of Gandhiji. According to Gandhiji, Satyagrahi must be strong and morally and spiritually so that he may fight injustice with love and non-violence. He believed that passive resistance is a weapon of weak. Passive resistance means bonfiring the British courts and boycotting the British courts. Here you can write this meaning. He believed that the passive resistance is the weapon of weak, while Satyagraha is the weapon of the strong. To realize the aim of Satyagraha, Gandhiji laid stress on adopting various means. So in order to preserve his Satyagraha, in order to hold the Satyagraha, there are so many tools which he has advocated, like talks, non-cooperation, strike, picketing, social boycott, hunger strike, civil disobedience. And we'll go through these terms, these important terms. Firstly, we'll go through non-violence. What is non-violence? Not to cooperate with the British government so that they find it difficult to operate in India. So next term we have used in this paragraph was picketing, to stand outside the shops where British goods were selling so people could not enter here. Civil disobedience movement, to boycott all the government institutions and not to pay any type of tax. So these were the three tools he used. First he advocated non-cooperation, that means totally not cooperating with the British. Then picketing was another method according to which students have to stand outside the shops so that the British could not enter, the Indians could not enter the shops where the British goods were selling. And third one we have discussed was civil disobedience movement. It is similar like non-cooperation movement, just here he asked people not to pay any sort of tax. These strategies means methods, attracted world attention and unnerved the British government. So another term has come, so we'll discuss what do you mean by unnerved. Unnerved means to make somebody felt frightened. So these policies, non-cooperation, strike, picketing, disobedience, hunger strike, civil disobedience movement, they made the British frightened, and they felt that anything can happen because of these strategies and these ideals which was being adopted by Mahatma Gandhi. Now we'll go through the next and the last ideal of Mahatma Gandhi, that was Hindu-Muslim unity. The British had fostered communalism mainly to divide the people. Here fostered means encouraged, and we'll go through the term. The term here is communalism. Communalism means conflict based on religion. If two communities are fighting on some issue and the basis of the issue is a religion, it is called as communalism. The British has fostered communalism mainly to divide the people so that they could easily rule over India, which would made weaker as a result of Hindu-Muslim quarrels. If they had remained united, they would have been strong enough to challenge the British rule. So Mahatma Gandhi realized that it is through the Hindu-Muslim unity that they can beat the British, and British at that time was trying communalism, trying Hindu-Muslim rights so that they can divide India and rule. Gandhiji understood the strategy of divide and rule being worked out by the British, so he therefore stressed the unity of the Hindus and Muslims. He sided with the Muslims during the Khilafat movement. This is another term, we have to go through the term. Now Khilafat movement is a term. It means a movement started by Ali brothers against the injustice done with Caliph of Turkey by the British. So during the First World War, the Caliph of the Turkey was dethroned by the British, and the Muslim community was angry with this act of the British. So they started a movement against the British called as Khilafat movement. It was primarily a Muslim movement, but Mahatma Gandhi grabbed this opportunity and he supported the Muslims so that Hindu-Muslim unity can be encouraged. When Mahatma Gandhi supported the Khilafat movement, Muslim also supported wholeheartedly when he launched the non-cooperation movement against the English. Whenever communal riots broke out in India, he staked his own life to visit the riot-torn areas. Communal riots means the fighting between the two different communities. He used to visit that area so that the Hindu-Muslim unity can be restored, can be made again. Gandhiji had forced that India reach the freedom of the goal of freedom. Forced here means to encourage. From the above account, it becomes quite clear that Gandhiji introduced the new ideals into politics and new methods to achieve freedom from the British rule. He gave new direction to the national movement and changed it into a movement of masses, where the common people have also started joining him. As a result, he won the freedom for India in 1947. I hope students you have understood this session. Hope to meet you in next session.